My first this was kind of how I got back into religion, which is kind of interesting. That when I saw the very, very first parts of Islam that came through in translation, whether they're from the Quran or certain hadith or certain reflections of scholars that came up in class, I was really, really shocked by what I found. That it wasn't, I had a very, again, at that point I had a very negative opinion of religion. I thought that religion's for dummies and yeah, everybody's being duped and tricked and stuff like that. But what I found in Islam was that, wow, this stuff is actually very specific. Like, this stuff is actually very sophisticated. There's more to explore here. I had tried to go the whole route of Christian liberation theology, and a lot of those conversations are very strained. In order to get a political discussion out of the New Testament, you got to squeeze it pretty hard to get some lemonade out of that lemon. Whereas when it comes to Islam, you have very explicit guidance in the Quran itself and in the hadith about pretty much everything, from how to wipe yourself when you go to the bathroom to how to organize a society. And that, I think, at that age was what I wanted. That I wanted a big theory of everything. I wanted something that was going to be able to make sense of what is just war and what's not just war. What is economy and what is cheating? Like, what's legitimate commerce? How should I treat my parents? How should I improve as a person? How do I treat my neighbors? And I never was able to find that in Christianity exactly. And even when I explored different leftist ideologies in my teenage years, Marxism and to the end of it, I didn't find it there either. That they had a lot to talk about society, but they had nothing to talk about when it came to becoming a good person, treating people right. So Islam was the first system where I found the best of both worlds. For the first time in my life, I found something that actually encompassed how to take care of the structures of society, but also how to take care of the soul and the individual. And it was not just, it didn't sacrifice depth for breadth. It wasn't just covering everything but at a surface level. It actually had very, very deep and very, very specific guidance on just about everything. Which is why I became a fiqh nerd when I became a Muslim, because I was just fascinated by the rules. Like, there's rules for how to use the bathroom. Like, I want to know. I absolutely want to know. I want to get into that level of detail. Some people, they think that that is oppressive or overbearing. I was like, bring it on. Like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. I've been waiting for someone to tell me the right way to do things. But it was a little bit before I actually accepted Islam. I took kind of a wayward route there.